Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a review of an action film from Japan. This is spoken in the Japanese and English language with some English subtitles, released in the year 2014, directed by Kurando Mitsutake, and this movie is called Gunwoman. Now Gunwoman opens up with this brilliant surgeon. His wife has been raped and brutally murdered by this gangster. Now this doctor, he has been badly beaten by these gangsters' men, and now he is hell-bent on revenge. So what he is going to do, he is going to enlist the services of this mute girl. Now this doctor is in a very seedy world, and he has some contacts where he has these women captives. So he needs someone to fulfill his quest for revenge, and the way that he's going to do it, he's going to get this mute girl and he is going to put some gun parts inside her. So in order to get to this gangster, this woman can't show any weapons, otherwise she'd never be allowed in. But so the way that the surgeon is going to combat this is he's going to surgically implant the gun parts in her body, so when she's inside this facility in order to try and get to this heavily protected gangster, she's going to take the parts out of her body. But the problem is she's going to bleed a lot because they're being sewn in, and so she has 22 minutes to achieve this target before she bleeds to death. So it does sound very crazy, but it's the type of Japanese craziness that you would expect from this country. So prevent myself from giving out too much. Whether or not this gun woman can achieve her goal and save her life, something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Gunwoman. When I came across this film, I was expecting something of a Typhoon Sushi movie. You know, the movies from Yoshihiro Nishimura, from, Tokyo Gore Police, Hell Driver, Machine Girl, Mutant Girl Squad, all those kinds of ridiculous films that Japan are known for. So I think the title, Gunwoman, doesn't really do this film any favours, because I was expecting something completely stupid, but I was surprised to see that this movie was actually kind of good. Now it does have problems. It's not going to appeal to the mainstream community out there. It is a very shocking film. There's a lot of sexual violence. The movie felt very misogynistic, that there was a lot of hatred towards women in this film. But ultimately the hero of the movie is in fact the female. So if you're easily offended, Gunwoman is definitely not for you. But I actually felt that this movie was somewhat entertaining, and it had a little bit of depth to it. I thought the acting, especially from Asami, I think that's her name. I'm not really familiar with this girl, but she is pretty popular in Japan. I thought her portrayal as the gun woman was very good. I felt sorry for this girl because of what she's been put into. She was forced to do this, and I thought there was surprisingly a little bit of depth to her character, and she actually had a little bit to play with. So I really liked that about Gunwoman. I thought, as far as typical Japanese, craziness is concerned, this one was going to be over the top silly. Now there are moments that are unrealistic. It is in fact a crazy film, but it's a lot more serious than I thought it would be. So if you see the title of Gunwoman, then I would still suggest that you check it out, because it is a lot different to the Typhoon Sushi stuff. So Gunwoman is a very unfortunate name for the film. I can understand it because she has gun parts implanted in her, but it's going to mislead a lot of audience. If you're after something serious, you're not going to pick up a movie called Gunwoman. But I would stress that you pick it up, because it is very hard to watch. There's a lot of gore in it. As I said, there's a lot of sexual violence. There seems to be a hatred towards women. So if you're easily offended, I would stay away. But if you want to test yourself, then Gunwoman is definitely a movie I would happily recommend. So I thought the acting from the supporting cast was fairly decent. I loved the villain of the film. The villain really makes it. I thought he was absolutely crazy. I thought he had no regard for human life, and that's exactly what you want from a villain. And it actually felt like a manga come to life. It felt like a Japanese sort of a real life version of an anime, in that it was exaggerated to the point where you felt that it was taking place in a different dimension. And so it's not a movie to take completely serious, but it just has a level of seriousness to it that took me off guard, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. So there is a little bit of English speaking in it. Fortunately, it does have Japanese language with English subtitles, so it feels that the director is still paying respect to basically where he's from and the cinema that makes Japan what it is. So he stays to the roots of Japanese craziness, but he also has a splash of a Hollywood film as well. So there's some shootouts, there's some fighting, and I thought it was very theatrical. So it is a movie that entertains you, but there's a shocking element to it that will take a lot of people off guard. So I thought the ending was really cool, and basically the whole film, the way it's choreographed, the fight scenes look really good, and just the cinematography of it all, it felt like a very sleazy throwback to 70s exploitation films in America as well. So if you like the grindhouse type of feel to it, I thought that Gunwoman combines the grindhouse with Japanese craziness very well, and it makes a very, it makes a very, you know, kind of unique style of film, and it's a style of film that I would recommend. So I like this a lot more than I thought I would, and as a result of that, I'm going to give Gunwoman 3 stars. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.